and gentlemen, welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray, and it's Fat Tuesday, and I'm a great representation of that.
Oh, my goodness.
Love the bees. I'm Peggy Burton. Good morning.
And I'm Jim Puller.
We're having a good time here, folks. What about y'all?
It's Fat Tuesday, and I'm a great representation of that. I want to tell you, that kind of took me off, caught me off guard there.
You don't get like this by...
Oh, gosh, I wonder what's happening in New
You don't
Orleans.
get like this by eating wheat hulls and oat chaff.
That's right. You look great today.
Hey, and speaking about that, we're going to have a new sponsor on today, and it's the Timberloft Restaurant in Manchester, and they are absolutely phenomenal. We'll visit with Donna and Kevin a little bit later on, and we'll have some video of their fine establishment. And let me tell you what, folks, it is one good place to go eat.
Well, I know some people that
Food
went last
is
week, and
excellent
I wasn't able to go because I had other big plans.
Commitments.
Other commitments. But anyway, they said it was wonderful.
Well, it's good.
It's where the old Crockett's is.
It's where Crockett's was.
In Manchester.
In Manchester.
On the way to Woodbury.
John must really like it because he's been putting this commercial together for him for about 4 months. And he has to go over there once or twice a week.
To get a free load of meal?
No. But we'll discuss that a little bit further when they're on the set with us. But it's a very good place.
Good.
Very good place. They have fine stuff there. And something else, folks. I want you to realize. Drum roll.
Ta-da.
It's Peggy Burton's birthday was yesterday.
It was. Yeah.
The world needs to know that.
I think the world is very fortunate to have another year of Peggy Burton.
I do
Thank
too.
you, John.
What would this world be without you?
I don't know.
Peggyless.
Peggyless. Yeah. I hasten to think that it probably will go on just fine.
Oh,
as I am dust in the wind.
It will go on. It will go on for sure. But there would be a gap. There would be a hole there that would take somebody a long time to fill.
I think it's wonderful that Peggy's still hot. After all these years, she is.
Jimmy.
What are you gonna do with him? Huh?
I don't know.
Just love him and go on.
Love him and let him go.
Let him go. Let him go.
John, I mean, after all the years we spent in the bar business, those thoughts still come to your mind.
Oh, sure they do.
In this environment from time
Particularly.
to time. Yeah,
Particularly, yeah.
I mean,
I've always said, though, that we as a community, as a group of people that have come together in one place to spend a great part of our lives, have been very blessed by the fact that Peggy Burton decided to not go to New York or L.A. or somewhere where she most likely would have had a wonderful career, and we would have seen her on stage and movies.
Either that or become a famous street walker.
or a call girl. You never can tell. But, diamonds are handcuffs.
I like it here.
Diamonds are handcuffs. That's the way that deal works right there. One way or the other. But she's chosen to be here in our life and has brought great things with her talent and her ability to produce programs and get folks, everybody from kids to adults together and sing and dance.
I'm not paying for this commercial, don't you?
Wait till you get the bill. And I just think we've been very fortunate to have you around, dear. I've always been respectful and quite proud to be involved with anything you ever do. So
we've had a lot of roads
We've
together.
had a lot of things done.
Anyway, the birthday's done. It's over.
Yes.
We will move right on past the birthday.
And somebody else, Tom Watson, Fran and Candy's Uncle Tom Watson's birthday's today, and we want to say happy birthday to him. To Tom Watson.
I saw him and Dot at the play the other night.
They were there.
And I would mention that play's going on again this weekend. Community Playhouse is presenting Showtime at Ivy Gap.
Yes.
Our First Baptist. Showtime at First Baptist.
I think that's at Ivy Gap, though, isn't it?
It's a sequel. Yeah, it is. It's a sequel to.
Where is that Baptist church?
Anyway, it's fun. It's a lot of local people are involved, and it's cute.
It's a good deal. Yeah, it's a good deal. And that's at South Jackson.
Weekend. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinee.
Yeah, at the Sojak. A lot of things happen at the Sojak. A little bit later on in today's show, we're going to have an interview that I did with a guy named Henry Cho, who is a comedian who has been on Jay Leno and all those late night shows, Letterman, all of them, Comedy Central, and he has a place out on Tim's Ford Lake. Imagine that.
I didn't realize.
Really?
He lives right in this area.
Well, they come visit there. It's a vacation place, and every time he's around here, he sees people, and they go, "Well, why don't you ever do a show around here?"
So he's doing.
And his wife saw South Jackson one day driving through town, and said, "Well, there's a neat little venue right there," and they went in and checked out it. So they rented the building, and he's going to do a show.
When is that coming up?
That's I believe it's the 8th.
Yeah.
March 8th.
So we're going to have a little interview with Henry this week, and then next week we'll have some of his
I believe
stand-up.
tickets are for sale at the Civic Center, $20, and at the door $25.
I think
Do I have
so,
that right?
something like that,
I think they're $5 cheaper if you buy them ahead of time.
Buy
So
them
it's a
now,
good
so.
4555321.
Isn't she great?
Yes, she is. What a memory.
What a
What a memory! I've got that. It's not as if I don't say that 5,000 times a day or dial it.
I'm going to tell a little something, and I don't think it'll get you in trouble.
Oh, whoops!
But I was talking with Peggy, and she said that her son General Burton had called and wished her happy birthday, and he was over around the world on the other side of the world visiting with sheiks and shahs and presidents and potentates, and I said, what do you do if you're a general and you're a representative of the United States of America and you're with the King of Jordan?
And he was this week, yeah.
And you sit down to dinner and they bring you snake heads or something like that to eat. You know, how do you deal with that? I wouldn't be able to deal with that. And what'd you say?
Well, it was back when he was in Baghdad that he was offered sheep's eyes, and he passed. But
Oh, he did?
yeah, he did. He didn't eat the sheep's eyes. There are things you don't eat.
You know, I had that thought once a couple of years ago, and we were doing a piece on a chili thing, cook-off thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't in Tullahoma, and somebody gave me some chili to taste. It was god-awful stuff I have ever put in my mouth.
What'd you do?
I guess it was just my, well, I swallowed that one bite, but I thought, what would I have done had I been at someone's house and they served me this? And I'm pretty flexible about it. I can eat about anything.
Almost anything.
Yeah, but I mean, this was.
You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Exactly, but this was bad. It was really bad, or at least to my taste.
So what'd you say? Did you say, "Oh, this is different"?
Yeah.
How interesting is this?
Different.
I don't remember
Let me get my card and see how I'm going to rate this.
Well, fortunately, there were a lot of people there, and I thought I need to get somewhere where I could throw this away. But there was a lot of people there, so I immediately got lost in the crowd.
You find yourself suddenly coughing into your napkin.
Yeah. But
that happens.
There's a whole lot going on. I mean, this is the time of year when, in between football and basketball, where the nonprofits and a lot of people have their events
and things.
They're fundraisers.
They're fundraisers.
Yeah. And you can eat a $35 to $50 piece of chicken every Friday and Saturday night.
Saturday night. That's right. And I appreciate all the people that do that, because most of the fundraisers are for wonderful organizations.
They are, and John is really busy this time of the year. I usually run into him on Saturday night as we're going to one. But this past weekend,
so were you?
Yeah, I know. But this past weekend, I didn't see it.
Where were you? Did you go?
Actually, I didn't go to any event.
I don't think there was one.
There must not have been one.
There might have been, but maybe it's not one that we
Is anybody
are that
having
familiar
a Fat
with.
Tuesday party?
Fat Tuesday, we're having one right here.
But I always find
I got my beads on.
I know, I love those beads.
I always find it amazing, some days, have you ever eaten out like at lunch and had chili, and then you get home at night and your wife's made you chili? But I remember a week before last, I went to 3 events that week, and they all had beef tips on rice.
Yeah. Please. No more beef tips.
Yeah.
I can remember talking about that, though. I can remember going over to your buddy's house when you're a kid, and you're going over there, and you're in the afternoon, and you're playing, and it's getting dark, getting late, summertime, and his mama says, "Well, why don't you just come on in and eat with us?" And you look in there, and they've got fried chicken and all this stuff, and you go in there and nail you a couple chicken legs. And then you get home and your mama's got liver or something like that.
Yeah.
And you are some kind of gruel looking stuff, and you're supposed to eat it. Full. And your daddy makes you sit there till midnight
That didn't happen to me because I live so far out in the country. You know, it was like 10 miles to the next neighbor. So in those days, you didn't go next door to eat.
Yeah.
At my house.
Yeah. But
ate Mama's pinto beans.
I imagine you ate it anyway, didn't you, John?
Most of the time, you know, because my dad was a good guy, but he was pretty tough.
What'd your dad do?
He worked at Arnold Center. He was in management. He's a management type guy. But I mean, he was raised on a farm in South Louisiana, so he's a Cajun, and didn't take a whole lot of smartness off of anybody. And I remember one night in particular, my mama had made, speaking about sheep's eyes and stuff, she'd made some Chinese dish, and I mean, it looked like it had worms and stuff in it. And I wasn't going to eat it. And I told him, I said, I'm not eating that. Well, you're going to sit there till you do. Well, I'll just sit here. And I sat, and I sat till Daddy finally went to sleep. Mama came out there about 11 o'clock and handed me, I took that away and slid a ham sandwich on the table. So she gave me a reprieve once Daddy went to bed. She said, we'll just say you did. How about that? And I said, thank you. I'm still sitting at that table.
It was a little bit about wasting food, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, you just didn't waste food.
Well, and fixing. You know, she went to the trouble to fix that. That's when women cooked every night at the house. And
yeah, it's a generational thing. A lot of that's changed over the years. It changed over the years.
Does your wife cook every night?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much.
Julia cooks every night.
But you know, talking about how things change over the years. You know, I've talked about these crows that are in my office.
Are they still there?
Yeah, they're still there. We're on our third or fourth generation of crows. Well, you know, they've had babies, and some of them have left, some of them have stayed. But when I first started feeding them about 5 years ago, I guess it was the elder crow, because he was huge, and he would take the little crow, the baby, who was, you know, less than a year old. We'd put food out there, and the biggest crow would fuss and fuss and fuss at that little one until they picked every bit of that food up and took it and put it somewhere.
Oh, interesting.
But now it's evolved to where I guess they figure it's always going to be there. So they come over to eat what they want and leave the rest on the ground. It's changed. You
have spoiled your crows.
You know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, crows are on food stamps over at Fuller's. They're flying around going, hey, bring your discount card over to Fuller's. All you need.
We've got something to crow about.
There you go. Something to crow about. That's right. Folks, we have something to crow about right here as well. Happy Fat Tuesday, and we'll be back after a couple of commercial messages. Don't you go away. We're going to have some more fun right here on Just Plain Living.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want. At our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
All right, folks, like I told you a minute ago, Henry Cho, a comedian who has been all over late night television, Comedy Central, does a Vegas act, is going to be at South Jackson Civic Center March the 8th. And Philip and I hooked up a Skype to him the other day, and we have an interview with him Skyped him over the iPhone. And let's bring that interview to you, Mr. Henry Cho. All right, folks, it's John Gray here, and with me this morning on the show is Mr. Henry Cho, and Henry is a entertainer, comedian, and just all-around good guy who is coming to South Jackson Civic Center to do a show on March, that's March the, what, Henry, March the 8th?
8th.
All right. Henry, tell us a little bit about your story.
I'm sorry?
Tell us your story a little bit.
We don't have time for that. So here's what we're going to do. March 8th, I'm doing a show. It's the Henry Cho Funny But Clean Comedy Tour. Myself and Jim Hope. And may have another guy also, but it's all clean comedy. It's adult humor, but it's clean. So you can have your 8-year-old there, and they can listen to it, and hopefully they won't get it, because hopefully I'm more cerebral than an 8-year-old, but you never know. So it's clean comedy, but it's adult humor, so I don't want you to think it's not funny. That's why it's the Funny But Clean Comedy Tour. The reason I'm coming to Tullahoma is we have a place down at Tim's Ford, and I get grabbed along the Parkway there a bunch, and in Walmart, and people going, "Hey man, when are you going to do a show down here?" And I said, "Well, you know, I'm at the lake. I'm just hanging out. Not really going to work." And then lo and behold, my wife was in Tullahoma doing some antiquing, and she said, "You know, I saw a little bitty theater there. Well, you got to check it out." So that's kind of how this started. To end up in Tullahoma at South Jackson Civic Center. I'm there on March 8th. We're doing one show. It's a school night, so we're doing one show at 7 o'clock. You'll be home by 9:35.
All right, that sounds great. Henry, how long have you been doing this?
Stand-up? I've been doing stand-up comedy for 26 years. I started in 1986.
26 years. That's a pretty long haul, and obviously you've been successful, or you wouldn't continue to do it.
Well, you know, here's the deal. You can be really good for a short time, or you can just be solid for a long time. Right. And I've never had a real job, so I'll take solid for a long time over anything.
You know, Fran, my wife, says that she's pulled you up on the internet and watched some of your stick, and we're going to play some on the show here after this interview. And she said you're absolutely hilarious and without being vulgar. And that is a wonderful thing, to where you can make people laugh. And like you say, it's adult humor, but it doesn't have to be nasty to be funny.
No, you know, I grew up listening to Bob Newhart and Bill Cosby albums. I'm a Christian first, anyway. I'm not a Christian comedian because, well, they're not funny. But anyway, that's a joke.
Yeah, that's a joke in itself.
I know there's some Christian comedians out there that well, they're not funny. Anyway, they tell funny stories, but they're not. Anyway, big long story. So anyway, I'm a comedian who's a Christian. It's a different kind of thing. I work mainstream. I do Vegas twice a year. Same show, clean show, sell it out, because people in Vegas need clean comedy too.
Yes,
so that's what it is. It's just clean comedy. I've been doing this a long time. I tour all over the country. Been on every late night talk show known to man, and I have an hour special on Comedy Central. You can check out Henry Cho. What's that clicking noise? Go to henrychocomedy.com if you want, and you get all the other info. So yeah, Tullahoma's going to be a great little stop. My buddy Jim Hope's flying in from LA on the 7th, March 7th, and then on March 8th we're going to be at the South Jackson Civic Center, and then we're going to go down to the lake and hang out. He's a LA boy. He's not around water a lot.
Yeah.
Well, the ocean, but not lake water.
There you go. There you go.
I'm going to take him to Tullahoma there. We'll eat there on the square somewhere, and then probably go down to our usual spots, Shell Station right there at Jackson.
There you go. There you go. Folks, this is Henry Cho. He's going to come to Tullahoma, like he said, South Jackson Civic Center on March the 8th. Show starts at 7. Clean adult humor. We expect everybody to be there. And as I said, Henry, we'll pull one of the clips off YouTube and let them see a little bit of you right after we get off of this phone call. Thank you very much for spending time and being with us this morning. And we look forward to having a great time on March the 8th.
Hey, thanks, John. Thanks for having me. I love technology, man.
Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
All right. See you then, buddy.
See you. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Tommy Anderton and Martha Jane Barton from Traders Bank to ShareWire Channel 6 viewers should bank with us in 2012. Martha Jane, I've known you to be employed at Traders Bank practically all my life. What is so special about Traders that's allowed you to enjoy 52 years employment?
Tommy, there are several things that make Traders the best. At Traders, it's like family as an employee and for our customers. Each customer receives exceptional personal service. At Traders, we're flexible and timely with our responses. At Traders, we listen and accommodate.
Martha Jane, thank you for that testimonial. Our New Year's resolution is to continue treating customers like family. It's truly why so many people never bank anywhere else.
Traders Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with what used to be Teenage Idols. I don't know what happened.
We still are.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
What happened to the teenage
In our
part?
mind, in our mind.
We have Tommy Shelton, Roger Dunnigan, Dave McNatt, and John Jensen. All of these gentlemen used to play in bands and still do. That's why we're having the Cellar reunion, right?
We are.
That's right.
Right, and we're going to have Roustabouts.
Roustabouts.
Who else are we going to have?
Natchez Trace.
You're supposed to know all
Natchez
this.
Trace. Natchez Trace. Soul Sessions going to play. Soul Sessions are going to play.
We're going to have the Sensations.
Sensations are going to play.
And we're going to have a member of a bunch of bands.
Right.
Now, tell me, what are we going to do?
Well, first of all, the event is March the 10th at the Fly in Shelbyville. If you're not familiar with the Fly, if you're familiar with Shelbyville, everybody knows where the library is. It's right next door to the library. March the 10th, I think it's going to start at 6 o'clock. They're going to have a social hour from 6 to 7. Soul Session is going to start at 7 o'clock. We're going to do a set. And then I think George Washington Bridge, that's who we left out.
Yep.
Gary
George
Giles,
Washington.
Randy Giles, George Washington Bridge are going to do a set. I think Roustabouts are next, and then Natchez Trace. And then I think they're going to have a jam session, let everybody get up and play. And then we're going to do a final set at the end of whatever time that happens to be.
Now, Roger, which band do you play with?
Roustabouts.
Dave?
Natchez Trace.
I played with Shades of Grey, but I'm going to be filling in with the Roustabouts.
All right, so y'all just going to mix it up.
Right.
I heard y'all going to be tough.
We're going to try to be tough.
That wasn't what I heard. I listen to Soul Session all the time now. They're great, but I'm looking forward to
We're going to have a good
y'all.
band.
That's the main thing.
We got a good band.
Dave, what have you been doing now? You gave a guitar lesson.
We are going in with the original members of our group that we played with 40-something years ago.
All of them still alive?
All of them still alive and still playing. Joe Baldwin, Jerry Nichols, and myself will be playing that night.
We're fixing to show a short video. And we right there's a Roustabouts today.
Right.
And I'm hoping in here we may find one somewhere that has y'all when you were younger and idols. We'll say idols.
There we go. There's the Roustabout.
Right there's Roustabouts.
Right.
This is a dance.
Jerry,
Hey,
Jerry.
isn't that Carney in the
That's
middle
Jerry
there?
Carney in the middle.
Yep.
He's passed away.
And we have several that we're going to see. There's the Giles.
Now, yeah, that is. There's Randy. There's Randy.
I'm telling you.
The Cellar. The
Remember when it was $1?
Yeah. Look at those
And we
Jaguars.
still make good money.
I want everybody to know it's going to be $15 in advance and $20 at the door.
Right.
Because we had to fly these guys in from all over the country.
And speaking of that, if you're still looking for tickets in Tullahoma, you can get them at Bodyworks Tanning Salon. There's Johnny Stewart, the late great Johnny Stewart.
He was good, wasn't he?
He was very good. But Bodyworks Tanning Salon is in the Cherokee Plaza Shopping Center. Dan Langford, behind Taco Bell. So if you want to get your tickets in advance, get them there in Shelbyville, get them at the Fly, or call Janice Cole. And I think you're going to have a segment about Janice.
Janice is going to be on a little bit later.
Sonny Smotherman.
We got them all. I mean, we went back and got some. Remember Billy on the end here?
Yeah.
There's Glenn Simmons.
That's before he was gray-headed.
Where did you find these pictures?
Hey, Tommy, to be honest, I think you sent them to me.
No, I didn't send all those to you.
I think you did.
That's our old lead singer.
Hey, these are some old pictures now. That was in the cellar.
Right.
Because I remember the ceiling was always right on the tall people's
That looks
head.
like that was in high school.
It was. These are some
Bring
great
back
shots.
memories, don't they?
It does. And you know, while you're telling that, now we did this about 3 years ago, right, Roger?
No, 4.
Was it
08.
We said 3.
08.
Was it 08?
08.
We did the first one 4 years ago. Had a huge crowd, great time, and this one should be even larger. And I think they're close to selling out. So get your ticket.
Hey, everybody better get them a ticket. I'm going to tell you something. My daughter asked me during the cellar reunion. We're about halfway through. And I used to tell my kids all about what we did when I was growing up, because they don't do nothing like that now. So when I was talking to her, I said, we used to party, dance from the time the band went up.
Tony and the Playboy.
That's it, until 12 o'clock at night. Halfway through the cellar reunion, she walked up, she said, did y'all do this every Friday and Saturday? I said, every Friday and Saturday. When the horse show was in town, we did it almost every night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it was fun. I used to play at them horse show dances.
Sure I did. It was a lot of fun, and back then you could make a whole lot of money back then.
Oh, yeah. $1 a head went a long way.
You get 500 kids in there every Friday and Saturday night. 5 in the band, that's $100 a piece.
There's the old roustabout. Look at them shirts, man.
Yeah.
Hey, now, I don't know what this is.
Somebody playing a guitar on the roof. That's raising the roof.
That's Robert. Yep.
I tell you what, this would.
There's Roger.
That is Roger.
Well, not young.
That turned back.
That must be trick photography or something.
Just old pictures.
That's great. That's a stage too.
Hey, there was some fantastic shots on
Where
this,
did you get these pictures?
Yeah, I don't know where these
they're
pictures
old.
came from.
Believe me, I got them on a DVD. But it just, I got to looking at it and I could remember different places, like the National Guard Army, the old National Guard Army,
Look at
the American Legion.
There's Randy Giles.
Y'all remember when they started out with dances up at the high school, and then your
American
mother,
Legion,
and American Legion, and then, but there was a guy come in up there with long beetle hair, freaked everybody out. From that day on, everybody started growing their hair.
Is that your?
I like that band.
I like it. I bet you wish you had that.
That's our band.
Look at the Fender Jaguars.
There you go.
Everywhere. I sure wish I had those. And you know, so I guess that's what this is about. Anybody in the '60s that ever came to the cellar, if you can hear our voice, if you're in the sound of our voice, you need to get your ticket. Come to the cellar reunion. It's anybody that's ever gone to the cellar, anybody that listened to music back in those days, need to get your ticket in Shelbyville from Janice at the Fly. Come to Body Works behind Taco Bell here in Tullahoma. Go ahead and get your ticket. March the 10th, you got to be there. There's Don Baker. He's
Starts 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock is social hour. 7 o'clock, our band Soul Session is going to do about a set. Then all the other bands, George Washington Bridge, everybody will play. Then we'll cap it off at the end of the night. But it's going to be a great time.
Are you going to sing, David?
I will sing.
You will sing. Going to sing to your girlfriend, right? He's bragging because he's got a girlfriend.
No, I'm not bragging.
He was bragging a while ago that he had a girlfriend.
Can I say something?
You sure? Go ahead.
There were people from Manchester, Tullahoma, Murfreesboro, Columbia, and they even knew about the cellar in Nashville.
Right.
And, you know, that was just a time, and I was proud to be part of it.
Hey.
Proud to be part of it.
We knew how to grow up, didn't we?
Right.
Hardy Friday.
I'm still growing up. Man, I'm in my second childhood.
Terry King.
Yeah. Terry, you know, he played with us at London's. He came in to show his daughter, Tullahoma, where he grew up. He came and played with us at London's, and I'd never played with TK before, and
TK's a piece of work. I wish he'd come back in for the cellar reunion. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that's trying to. I talked to, on Facebook, you connect with a lot of people. I talked to Helen Nelson, and I can't pronounce her last name now. I think she married an Italian, which is fine. But she's going to try to come in. And I mean, these are people we went to high school with.
Yep.
It is. I mean, we went to high school with them.
Look at this, a Playboy.
It's going to be like a class reunion, too.
Oh, tell me about it. It'll be unbelievable.
There's Don Baker. And you know the cool thing about the cellar? Only in America could we have done something like that. A bunch of kids in Shelbyville on the Parkway, underneath the VFW. It was in an old building. We painted the walls black, charged $1 a head. Heathcote, I think, was the rent-a-cop for $8. We paid him $8 to watch the parking lot. Make sure there's a flyer that announces it. But only in Shelbyville could we have done something like that.
You know what was real cool about it? Once you got down them steps, and they were steep. Once you got down to the bottom, you had one choice: stand or dance. There was no sitting, no lounging around.
Yeah.
You stood against the wall until you got up enough courage to go ask the girl to dance.
Right.
And then it was on, buddy. The party.
Well, if one turned you down, all you had to do is go to the next one.
I mean, that's it. I mean, some of the girls just come up and grab you and say, "Listen."
I just saw Janice from the fly over there in the audience. She's in the audience. Hi, Janice.
She's gonna be on here. You looking forward to the fly?
I'm looking so forward to it, I can't stand it. I was one of those girls that was the next one. And I go,
Let me dance. This is going. I'm looking. You just don't know. My whole family's already bought tickets. I have got my table set. I'm not going to let Jimmy, John, or nobody else.
You can tell them about reserving a table.
Oh yeah. If you have 8 of you in a group and you call, you can get that group to set at the table. Now, there's 10 at mine, right? There's 10 at my table so far.
I can put up to 10 at the table.
Yeah, we can go 10. But 8, I mean, just call and tell Janice, say, hey, I need 8 tickets. Get in there. I think we still got tickets.
We reserve a table.
Yeah, we still got tickets for the tables.
I think we're going to have to just about wrap this up. Just want to say again, March the 10th, Shelbyville at the Fly. Get your tickets in advance, $15 in advance, $20 at the door. Get them at Bodyworks Tanning Salon in Tullahoma. Get them from Janice in Shelbyville, March the 10th. Everybody comes. It's going to be a great time.
John, you ain't said much of anything sitting over here. Are you going to sing, play, or?
I don't sing. I'm going to play drums with the roustabouts.
You going to play drums with the?
Right.
All right. That's going to be good.
Y'all can do
drums. Mackie Brazier, and who was it with Playboys that did that?
Mark and Tate.
Yeah.
That's it. Battle of the bands. Battle of the drums. Y'all can play Wipeout all night.
I'm not going to play Wipeout.
We're too old to go
Put that off on somebody else.
We're going to go to the Fly Arts Center March the 10th. We need everybody to come out. That's what we need.
Yeah. Amen. See y'all then.
See you there.
All righty.
See ya.
I'm NASCAR driver Mark Martin. You know what's worse than waiting in traffic? Waiting in the emergency room when you're in pain. So choose the ER that's extra fast, ER Extra. ER Extra is specifically engineered to get you the help you need and back in action with race car speed. ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
ER Extra. Exclusively at Harton Regional Medical Center.
Get Tullahoma's news first, fast, and free with Tullahoma's News Leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Jimmy and Jenny bring you local weather, sports, community calendar events, birth announcements, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Tullahoma's news, get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And this is Black History Month, and I had the opportunity to see one of the most incredible presentations last Thursday night. I guess one of the best things I've ever seen. It was Dr. Tonia Stewart, and she was at Motlow College. And she came here. She is a world-renowned actress, spokesperson. She's an educator. She carries several doctorates. And she was in the movie A Time to Kill as the mother of the young lady who was raped and beat up. And she was in the movie television series In the Heat of the Night as one of the featured performers there. And she did a presentation at Motlow talking about some of the things when she was a child. And also I had a really good interview with her after her show. And let's go to that video right now. It was absolutely wonderful.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. And so I laid on the radio and said, I heard them just been singing that song for years. They're gonna overcome. They're gonna overcome what? Well, I can tell them. As a child, I go to the counter there on the corner in the little stand where we could go and buy a hot dog or a hamburger, and you look inside and the white men and women could go in and they would just buy a cup of coffee. Because see, they didn't have to buy a hamburger because our family members was cooking dinner at their house. They were cooking for them, and we didn't have nothing at our house. So we save about 60 cents to go buy a hot dog or something. And my auntie worked in the kitchen at that stand in Greenwood. And I can remember standing at the window, and the lady wouldn't ever come to the window until she got ready. You know, she just take her time. She waited on all those folks buying their 10-cent cup of coffee. And there's a whole line of us out here in the cold, in the rain, in the heat, whatever time of the year it was, waiting to pay 50 cents for a foot long, 60 cents for a foot long hot dog. So I get my auntie's attention, and I said, lady came, what you want, girl? Ma'am, I'd like to get a hot dog, because I know if my aunt understood me, she was going to cut that foot long in half and stick it in the bag, and I'd have a whole foot long that I'd pay 30 cents for, instead of paying 60 cents for the foot long. The lady didn't see me. So the lady said, okay, we'll be in a minute. She'll go back over, hey there, Joe, and give him some coffee, and we just wait. Foot long getting cold. We just wait. And then she'll finally come. She's taking your money already, so you couldn't leave, and pass you your cold, supposedly hot dog, but I had a foot long. It was so many things. They were not little things, they were big things. They were deeply hurting experiences that lasted forever. I was telling the students today, my grandmothers were strong. What happened to us? We're letting our girls be the sweet things. They're walking around with their little tight, short, mid-cut dresses and showing the midriff and showing the cleavage and all busting out everything they got, showing everything they got, instead of telling them like our grandmothers told us. It's not what you show, it's what you hide. Amen. Same thing with our boys. Got the britches all hanging down, sagging and dragging, and they don't understand that they're symbolizing something. They're sending a message that I never expect to grow up to be the man to fill these pants. I'm letting them drag on me now because I'm going to be dead or in jail or somewhere before I can ever grow to fill them up. All you doing is walking around with your breeches hanging down, showing the crack of your back when looking at the hair. My grandmother was strong. They would have told us. They taught us better. And it's our job to teach our children.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at Motlow College with Dr. Tonia Stewart, actress, philanthropist, philosopher, poet, singer, educator, and wonderful historian and lady. You just got through doing an incredible show for Black History Month at Motlow College.
Right.
Doctor, have you had fun in Middle Tennessee?
I've enjoyed every moment. Everyone is so good and the food is delicious. Everywhere you stop, it is just fabulous. Thank you so much for having me in Motlow, at Motlow Community College. My dear friend, Dr. Phyllis Adams, was the instigator behind my coming, and I love her so much. And we missed her, but we understand she could not be here during this celebration time, but her spirit is so much here. Her mother is ill suddenly, but we're praying, and I dedicated my presentation tonight to Dr. Phyllis Adams and her mother, Mrs. Adams.
Doctor, what was so incredible to me is through your eyes and through your voice and your skills, you gave us a snapshot of history as you saw it in your youth in Mississippi.
Yes, growing up in the Delta of Mississippi. I'm from Greenwood, Mississippi, and I vividly remember so many of the horrible experiences that we had as children, just equally as I do remember the good times too. We had a lot of fun growing up in the Delta. We learned how to play with tires, and every time the rain would come and the waters would get too high, we even learned how to float on a tire and made us some pasteboard boats. We had a lot of fun.
And your grandfather was Dallas?
Papa Dallas, great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather, yes. Papa Dallas.
Yes.
And Papa Dallas told you that you would end up being a spokesperson.
A spokesperson one day. He said, shows your bone, shows your bone. And those were his words. He would always make a statement and a prediction, and then he said, shows your bone. And I tell you, I guess that's what I'm doing.
You're doing a wonderful job, and it is so incredible to be able to have someone like you in our area here to share your life, your history, and your talent with us during a time in our country where we need love, we need care for one another, we need help and understanding, and you are a beacon.
Well, thank you. And love is very important. If we love ourselves, we love each other, because we know that we're all an extension of God Almighty. So I think what you're saying is so very true. It's a critical time in our lives. But every year, there's always something to make it critical, because that lets you know that you're alive. What we have to do is band together and highlight the good things and the good deeds that we can do for one another, and every day will be a better day.
Dr. Tonia Stewart at Motlow College, sharing with all of us and letting us know life is good and there are good things yet to come.
That's right. God bless you all.
Since 1985, Life Communications and Security has been a household word in Middle Tennessee, mainly because people trust and believe in Life Communications and Securities in the work they do. Led by owner Jeff Wooten, LCS has continued to grow and earn the support of their many customers. When we ask businesses and homeowners who they put their trust in, these are the answers we receive.
Tommy Anderton with Traders Bank. When it comes to security and communications, we call Life Communications.
For all of our security needs at First Vision Bank, we call Life Communications. Communication. Life Communications is a small investment for us to take care of our major investment.
Knowing this, why would you ever call anyone else for your security or communications needs? Call Life Communications and Security at 931-455-9016 or 1-866-535-9016. That's Life Communications and Security.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
For things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
Welcome back to Living. I'm glad you stayed. I have Janice Cole with me from the Fly Building in Chevrolet. Hey, Janice, how are you?
I'm good.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, and I've missed you.
It's high time you came on this show again.
I've missed being over here.
Well, it looks like you've got some really fun things happening at the Fly.
We do.
I'm excited about the seller party.
I am real excited about the seller reunion. We did this about 4 years ago, I guess, and it was one of the most successful things we've ever done.
I think we have a phone number back there for
we do.
Reservations at the Fly
for
Building.
Reservations,
there we go.
A way to get tickets.
Just
at
call that number.
Right, 931-703-7613. We do still have tickets available, and
it's important people to know that they're cheaper if they go ahead and buy now.
Yes, advance tickets are $15, and at the door they'll be $20. This is a fundraiser for the Fly Arts Center. All the proceeds go to serve the projects of the Arts Center.
And I know you've got a lot of projects going on.
We do. We actually opened our art gallery about 1.5 years ago.
Your art gallery is beautiful, by the way.
Well, we're real proud of it.
We are real doing that.
Yeah, and it has really given the local artist a venue to display and exhibit.
They sell somewhere,
and
don't they?
We do sell.
And you all probably get a percentage.
We get a percentage, and we've got some pottery, we've got paintings, we've got jewelry, we've got some beautiful jewelry. We've got some smaller items like handcrafted cards, handcrafted paper, handmade journals. There are some knives, some handmade knives.
Oh, really?
We've had an artist come on board that is a wood carver that does beautiful work. He does bust figures and walking sticks, and we're real excited about that.
And don't you have some people that share their sheep and make...
Oh, that's the Fiber Guild.
The Fiber Guild.
They're fabulous.
Yeah,
they are so
fabulous.
Yes. They are probably the most creative bunch of women I have ever seen in one group. We always have a festival of trees.
At Christmas.
Yes, though it's the weekend before Thanksgiving. And the Fly is full of Christmas trees that individuals and clubs decorate. And then that one day we have a festival of trees and we have vendors. And this particular group of ladies always does a real unusual tree. But this year they had taken on as a project to do an undersea coral reef with the fish, the coral, everything. Well, they decided rather than trying to come up with an idea for a Christmas tree, they took this whole setting and they put it on a Christmas tree that revolved in a circle and called it the Undersea Christmas or something like that. It was beautiful. It was.
And so you'll probably do that again next year?
Oh yeah, we have the Festival of Trees every year.
They may come up with another idea.
Oh, they'll have another idea
next year. What a cool idea that was.
Yeah, they always outshine themselves from year to year. But yeah, we have some of their work in the gallery. And then I would like to talk about the theater season too. Our first play is the last weekend in April and the first weekend of May. And it's... do
y'all do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday matinees?
Yes. Sometimes we do Sunday matinees. This particular one, we'll have a Sunday matinee the second weekend, the first weekend in May. On that Sunday, it will be at 2 o'clock.
What are your usual ticket prices for your plays, your theater?
We have center seats that are 12 and side seats are 10, and students 12. Any student is 7 for the center seats and 5 for the side seats.
And what's the play, the first play that's going to open in May?
It's A Bad Year for Tomatoes.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's real cute. It's real funny.
Fun play.
It's about an actress who has decided to write her autobiography, and she comes to this little New England village to get away from it all. But the neighbors keep bothering her, so she decides she's going to create this evil sister to scare them all off. But it doesn't work out because one of the locals falls in love with the crazy sister.
Oh.
So
I like that.
Yeah, it's real cute.
Is that a small cast?
4 women and 3 men.
4 women and 3 men. Sounds like fun. And that opens the first 2 weekends in May.
The last weekend of April
and
the first weekend of May. And then we have the children's play, which is The New Princess and the Pea.
And do you know when that opens?
It will be in July.
And is that mostly children?
It is
that are
grades
involved?
K through 8.
K through 8.
K through 8.
I am so proud of y'all for having a youth workshop and productions.
It's been real successful. We've always had a good turnout, and they seem to really enjoy it. I think it's something different that they don't normally get to do. And I've had some children we're just now seeing that started out with us when they were in the 1st or 2nd grade, and now they're graduating.
And they're seasoned actresses and actors by the time they get there. I see that happening all around our region, and I'm real pleased with it.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of competition, but there's good things in Chevrolet, Manchester, Tullahoma.
We live in I think our area is very
artistic.
Yes, very much so, and has a lot of talent. Has a whole lot of talent. And we have, I hope we can continue to do this. I know that we've had some of the actors from here come over to Shelbyville, and some of us have come over here into Woodbury, and that's always fun.
I hope that everybody will remember the party at the Cellar. I mean,
yes.
What is the date on that again?
March 10th.
March 10th.
It starts at 6 o'clock, social hour 6 to 7.
What day is March 10th? Is it Saturday?
Yes, it's a Saturday.
Saturday, March 10th. Starts
Saturday,
at 7.
March 10th. And we'll have...
and ticket prices
are $15 in advance, $20 at the door.
So that's, it's a real good idea to go ahead and get your tickets in advance. You can buy a table. I heard them talking about it earlier on the show, and you can be a great way to entertain some of your friends that you may owe a party to.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And you'll see, one good thing is, and I think one of the guys earlier mentioned, it's sort of like a class reunion, but it takes it a step further. It's not just your class, it's the classes that went before you, the classes that may have been after you, and we had a great time at the first one, and I think we're going to have a full house this time.
I think you're going to have a full house.
But be sure and reserve your table, because that way you don't have to be in a hurry to get there. You know your table will have your name on it, and it's not such a rush to...
And I think you can make it clear that the ticket price assures you of a table and a place to sit.
If you reserve a table. Now, if you buy just a single ticket in advance, the $15 ticket, it's first come, first serve as far as seats.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you still will have tickets at the door.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, goodness, you guys are busy.
We're very busy.
You're busy.
Very busy.
And I'm sure you'll take sponsorships any
we'll
day of the week.
We'll take sponsorships any day of the week. Anything to promote the arts.
Janice, I'm so excited about what you're doing. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
It's great to see you. We'll be back with more of Living.
All that attention, all you do want Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m., featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*, 77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to have joining. I was just getting an examination here from Dr. Ed Lawson of Lawson Chiropractic Clinic here on Maple Hill Drive in Tullahoma. And I'm a little confused now because we got to talking about an issue that I had a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not sure where we're going with this. So.
All right, no, we're anyway. One of the things I was talking about was this is our Find Out Free time of year right now. Mm-hmm. What I've been doing is handing out cards to my patients called Find Out Free cards, and they can in turn hand those to someone else. And what happens is you present the card, you come in, you get a consultation, a focus exam where I just look at the complaint to see if I can help it, and then a little focus mini treatment, you know, and then that way it'll establish whether I can help you or not, and then we'll decide what to do next, whether we need a more thorough exam, x-rays, and then how to go from there. Now what the x-rays do, a lot of people, sometimes they'll come in and they say they don't want x-rays. Well, x-rays are very important because they give us a lot of information. One, they let me know how light, what kind of techniques I can safely use. Mm-hmm. You know, most everything can be addressed, but some things you have to do very light touch, and some things you can, encourage motion a little more vigorously. So to speak.
Now that you mention it, I can imagine that x-rays are extremely important in what you do.
Yes.
You don't want to do anything to hurt something, something worse.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, there have been some times where I wouldn't do anything and the patient went away and someone else did it, but I'm not going to take that risk, where I don't want anyone to hurt. And then the next, and they also give us a prognosis, how the patient's going to respond, how are they likely to heal permanently, or is this something they're going to have to deal with on occasion for the rest of their life? So they may want to decide after things get stable, they may have a low-grade pain still that they just have to come in every so often, every few weeks, every month or so, every 6 weeks to get realigned so that they're more stable, so that their day-to-day activities do not cause. Sometimes when you start losing your alignment, you may not feel it, but if you do anything strenuous, you're more prone to injury at that point than if you're totally balanced. And that is exactly why a lot of professional and Olympian athletes use chiropractors. Mm-hmm. So they can have the edge, so they can have that faster reaction time, so that they are less likely to be injured, and so that they're more able to. Looks like we're having technical difficulties.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, your battery must have died. So anyway, that's the thing. We're doing Find Out Free right now, and you are unplugged.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So we're doing Find Out Free right now, and if you know any patients, you can also call the office and say, hey, I want to participate in Dr. Lawson's Find Out Free campaign. So just give us a call. Now, the other news is we are accepting Medicare patients again. We stopped taking Medicare patients for a while because we wanted to make sure they were getting billed correctly and efficiently, and so we wanted to improve our relations with patients so that we do this increase our efficiency. And so that's good now, and so we're ready to. We've made it better for the patients, and so it's easier. So we're ready to engage that process.
Did I read somewhere the other day that the military has got to where they're now using chiropractic services?
Yes, it's a lot slower than we would like to see. They've been mandated to engage chiropractic for years, and it's just been a slow process. And you know, it's extremely valuable. It helps with battle fatigue. I mean, you know, you get something out there. There was a reserve chiropractor I read. He was a colonel. He was called into active duty, and he was on the front lines adjusting Marines.
No kidding.
Yes.
And Ed is a former Marine. Did they have that service?
No, they did not.
They did not. Okay.
They did not. But that's pretty cool. You know, to be on the front lines, giving an adjustment.
Right.
I don't think. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed. I don't think I'd want that opportunity yet. It sounds exciting. You know? I don't want to be on the front line anywhere. But yet I do. You know, it's kind of weird. You know, being a Marine, you have that patriotism that calls whenever there's a conflict, and there's a pull to go stand and fight for your country. The same way with chiropractic. Chiropractors have been discriminated against for years, and there's a fight. You know, right now Medicare is really amping up to go after chiropractic for some reason, and it's like, why are they doing this? Because a Medicare patient will have half a maintenance Medicare patient and a chiropractic patient that's also Medicare will have half the medical bills that a regular their counterpart has. Half the medical bills. And the average Medicare patient has $8,000 in medical bills a year. The maintenance chiropractic patient has $4,000.
That's unbelievable.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're saving them a lot of money.
Right.
And check this out. If a person went to a chiropractor first for back pain, they would save the medical industry, the insurance industry, Medicare and regular insurance, $15 billion a year.
Unbelievable.
Billion with a B.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So it's amazing. It's a great profession. We do a lot of good work. I've seen amazing things happen to get people healthy again with some pretty serious diseases. Just start going away. It's, you know, when you start lining the body up and improving efficiency there, miracles happen. Their body just works more effectively.
Let me ask you a question that's a little bit off the subject, because I kind of wonder this. You know, most everybody knows that I have this bookkeeping business on the side, aside from our television thing. My partner is Ed's bookkeeper.
Yes.
And when we started out in that business 20 years ago, we were both the same height. Now, 20 years later, I think she's an inch taller than me.
Right.
Now, she has had some surgery on her neck, which I think you're probably aware of. So, does that and the age factor, is it possible that you're shorter now than you might have been 20 years ago?
Right. Yeah, we lose height.
Yeah.
Well, you also lose height between morning and evening.
Really? Is this a gravity thing?
It is. Your discs expand when you lie down at night, and then they start to. Of course, that expansion's slow because if you're bedridden, you start to deteriorate.
Yeah.
And you can get pretty debilitated. But what happens is everything relaxes and expands a little bit as you heal and stuff, and then with gravity during the day, you start losing height. And it's going to vary from person to person with activities. Strenuous exercise actually increases that height ratio. You know, like if you're in football and you're doing weightlifting and you're doing 2-a-days, you're going to really lose some height there, up to an inch or more.
An inch or more?
If you're a real tall guy, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, but anyway, and then you rest and things straighten back out. But as we age, our curves actually increase. So we lose height because of our curves, and our bone density changes. And you know, just think, the spine is always under compressive forces. And so those bones are going to slowly, even though they're not massively changing height, they're going to slowly lose some height a little bit in sort of the disc spaces. So with 33 different vertebrae in your spine, that adds up. Say you take a millimeter off each vertebra, how many millimeters is that?
I would have to
That's
know.
33 millimeters.
I would have been paying attention to how many vertebrae we had.
So 33 millimeters is actually, what, 3 centimeters, I think. Yeah, 3 centimeters. So that's 1.5 inches.
Now, this is not fair. Do not ask me hard questions. Number one, I can't do the metric conversion in my head to begin with.
So just a little bit off of each segment, you could lose 1.5 inches throughout your life. So you could lose quite up, 2 inches or more, depending on how hunched your back gets and just the slow degradation of years. And that's my job, is to slow that process. I'm not going to stop it, but I can do a lot to slow it down, and I can teach you things you can do to slow it down.
Right.
So that's why I like to encourage seniors and babies to get in, because the sooner you start, the better. But with seniors, it's never too late.
Right. Okay. And right now, a big special going on. Tell them real quick.
Find out free. Call us up, say, I want to find out free, and you can get in. We'll do a focus exam, a focus treatment, a consultation, find out what's going on. If I can help you, we'll talk about it, a more thorough exam and x-rays after that.
All right. That number on the screen there, you can reach Dr. Lawson at Lawson's Chiropractic Clinic on Maple Hill Drive in Tullahoma. We'll be right back in just a moment, folks, right after these messages.
Serving you as a local firefighter. Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma. Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good. There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Welcome back to Living. I am so glad to have Scott Smith on this show today. Hi, Scott.
Hello, Peggy. How are you?
Scott is with New Life, as you all probably know. Some of you have watched him on this show before, and you've got a big fundraiser coming up.
We do. We
When is
have a banquet. It's our annual fundraising banquet. It is March the 1st, so next Thursday night.
That's next Thursday.
Yes, and it is at the First United Methodist Church from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
And how much money does it cost to get
It
there?
actually doesn't cost anything to go to the banquet.
Oh, wow.
But if you're an adult that cares about students, high school students, middle school students, or you have kids growing up, or if you're just a concerned adult that cares about kids in our community, it would be a great place for you to come and hear about the ministry.
We have a phone number back there.
We do.
That Julia just sent back, and you want to give it again? Maybe they didn't write it down. So
yeah,
we want to.
I will.
That's all right.
I will. You know what? I'm going to.
Hey, they've got it. Never
Perfect.
mind. Okay. Anyway, we want you to know the phone number because I suppose you should make reservations.
Yes, absolutely.
So
really, by the end of this week, at the very latest, preferably by Thursday,
and
would be great.
This is free?
It doesn't cost anything.
That is wonderful.
And but it is for adults. It's a catered meal. We'll hear from students, local students who are currently in high school. We have a sophomore, a senior, and we have a girl who just graduated Tullahoma High School that we will hear from. And
they are all involved in the New Life Ministry.
They are all involved, yes.
And they're going to share their experiences.
Yeah, they are, because we thought this year it would be great to highlight just local people and what Young Life locally, the impact that it's having right here in Tullahoma.
About how many students are involved here in Tullahoma?
Goodness, we've only been here about 2.5 years, and
I remember when you first came.
We've easily had probably 400 different students involved since we started. Right now, our weekly is probably more like 50 to 60 students a week.
That is wonderful. And what is some of the things that happens at a meeting with Young Life?
Oh my goodness. First of all, Young Life is club is the one piece that we do. It's kind of the tip of the iceberg. It's the part that's so visible to students and to people in the community. That's the thing that we do on Thursday nights. And at those meetings.
And you meet at first.
No, we meet all over the place.
Oh, you meet at different places.
In fact,
okay.
We're always looking for new places to meet. Sometimes we have 120 people show up, and we need bigger places to do that. Okay. But what happens there is we have music, we have games, skits, what we call mixers, which are games that every single person in the room can play.
And what time does that start?
That's at 7:37 on Thursday nights.
7:37.
7:37. No magic to that, other than people ask and students remember, and some people keep thinking, oh, that's a Bible verse. That's
7:37. That works good.
But it does turn out that John 7:37. I looked it up one day, and Jesus says, "Let anyone who is thirsty come to me and drink."
Oh, good.
And so I
that
thought,
works.
It's perfect.
Perfect. 7:37.
It's perfect.
And that phone number there, you can get information, I'm assuming, anytime you want it, but you can also make reservations for the fundraiser next Thursday.
Yes, that phone number is for one of our committee folks, Rebecca Van Horn. She typically heads our banquet up. And
y'all have a lot of volunteers.
I wouldn't say a lot. We can always use more help.
Always use more help.
Absolutely.
And people that are interested in young people and, and the quality of their life.
Yes.
Here, as far as around the world that we were just talking about, this is far-reaching, isn't it?
It's actually unbelievable. I was telling you earlier, we went to Orlando, Florida for a conference that we do every 4 years, Young Life, and we're international as an organization. And we saw 77 flags march in.
Amazing.
Actually, it was 90. 13 of them were countries that we're starting in the next 2 years. And the projection is that Young Life will be in 160 countries in 4 years.
And the communication between these nations takes place when you go to these conferences. You have people from all over, right?
Absolutely.
And when you went to the conference, did young people go with you?
No, this was just staff people and their spouses, and it's a way for Young Life, I think, internationally to pour into their people and to be on the same page of where we're going. And
when did this actually start?
About 1940.
So it has been
70
going on
years
for
old
a long,
this year.
long time. And the banquet is to enlighten the community.
Right.
More than when you said fundraiser.
It is a fundraiser, but we want people to be able to come and just kind of peek behind the curtain and go, what is Young Life and how does it work?
And you're hoping they'll come and make some donations.
Absolutely. There will be an appeal made for sure, so no one should feel...
But even if you don't make a donation, you will get enlightened and have an opportunity to spread the word, and certainly everybody should be ready to donate because it's a wonderful program.
Yeah.
Do you have a figure in mind that you hope to raise?
Yeah, I'd love to raise our whole budget, but no. Last year we aimed to raise about $40,000 at our banquet, and we had around 200 people there, and we were just shy of that goal.
That's wonderful.
So it's a great banquet. It's a great banquet.
And you want to tell us what you're serving? What's going to be on the menu?
Well,
do we know?
Southern Hospitality, Craig Bradshaw is catering this, and I believe that we are having chicken cordon bleu and vegetables. And
sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be a great thing.
And this will be in the activity center.
Family Activity Center at the Methodist Church, across from the post office.
Across from the post office. So get your tickets, call, and make a reservation. Take your pocketbook.
Please,
take your
please.
checkbook, your credit card.
Well, we're investing a lot of time in students.
I know you are,
so,
and I think that we're seeing the difference.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. Well, any last words on all this?
You know, I'm grateful. Thanks for letting me come and do this. And well, Young Life's quite a story to tell. And I got an email from a girl 2 days ago. Actually, she's going to speak at our banquet. And one of the things that she wrote in there, she said, "Young Life gave me hope when I had no hope for myself." And that happened over a long period of time. This is not a cookie cutter program. It's not something you just plug people into and play.
It's a long range plan.
It's about relationships and making an investment. When we meet people, when we meet students, we treat them as if we're going to know them and be friends with them for life.
That's wonderful.
And that's it's a different kind of deal. That's for sure.
I think it shows in your face, it shows in your voice, and it shows in your heart. And we're so proud of what you do. Scott,
thanks, Peggy.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more of Living.
Thank you.
Look around, the changes catch your eye, and you come to realize one can make a difference. Reach out, stand out, find out what it's all about. See it all, stand tall, be there to catch them when they fall.
Since 1915, Kiwanis International has touched millions of lives through thousands of service programs for children around the world. When you help one child, you help the world.
Life is bigger than just one, but one can make a difference.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. You know, and we were talking about earlier about Fat Tuesday and how I'm the prime example for Fat Tuesday. And let me tell you what, I have two folks with me here today that I hope will help me, and I think they can help me to keep this girlish figure, robust figure that I have. And this is Donna and Kevin Jones, and they are the owners, proprietors, managers, chefs, and head of the Timberloft restaurant in Manchester, Tennessee, out on the Woodbury Highway where the old Crockett's used to be. And I'm just tickled to death to have these folks with us here today, because if you haven't been there, this is one of the finest eating experiences in Coffee County, folks, if not the finest. You need to find your way there because the food is marvelous.
Thank you very much. Those are very kind words.
And I mean, how a guy's got flames on his pants and orange shoes.
What the heck?
He walked in and somebody said, "Oh, you booked a clown for the show."
It doesn't matter. You know, I've worn these pants and these clothes for so many years. They've actually become sort of my signature.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great.
It doesn't matter wherever I go. If you see me at Walmart, say hello. I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, so let me give a little history here. What happened, folks, is these two folks have been in the restaurant business for about 35 years.
Yep.
They've the other Timberloft is in Gordonsville.
Over in Smith County.
In Smith County, which I wasn't aware that Gordonsville even existed until I ran across y'all and started doing some research. And you've had the Timberloft open over there for what, 15 years? 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years now.
So it's not like these people have come to town with a new endeavor and no experience. Let me tell you what, when you go in their restaurant and the way you're treated from the time you walk through the front door until the time you leave, you will realize that they have plenty of experience in the restaurant business, because you've taken it, everything from the decor And that's something, I built restaurants and I was in a lot of the design work on them. And color is a very important thing. And color is a very difficult thing to get right. And the color scheme in your restaurant is very pleasant. It's very relaxing. It's an open concept over there. A lot of the tables are gone compared to what it was when it was a Crockett's and you had people elbowing you in the head and stuff. It's just relaxing. It's a great design.
We're more about people being comfortable and having a good atmosphere instead of trying to rush everybody in like cattle.
Yeah, you want to enjoy your family. You don't want to feel like the neighbors are hearing your conversation. You have a little privacy and a chance to come together with your friends and family and not have to feel cramped or pushed or rushed out the door. Kevin said it's important to us.
The other night when we were over there, and I'll tell you what, let's do, Philip, right now, if you would. Let's pull that commercial up and run it because I want folks to see a little bit of the restaurant.
The world premiere.
The world premiere of the Timberloft commercial, produced right here by P-Head Productions, Philip Scoggins, and John Gray. If you're looking for a great atmosphere, good music, an open design, and a staff that understands what it takes to serve the best food around, you'll find it at the Timberloft Restaurant in Manchester. Locally owned and operated, the Timberloft features smoked meats, prime rib, black Angus steaks, sandwiches, burgers, pastas, incredible appetizers and sides, and decadent desserts made in-house. Searching for a new place to hang out with company clients and friends? With a cozy feel, a quiet bar, awesome drinks, and big city quality food, you found it when you visit the Timberloft. 1165 Woodbury Highway, Manchester. Catering and party planning available. The Timberloft. Spectacular. All right. Spectacular. That's all I could think of to say at the end of that, because when you get there and you've been there and you've had an opportunity to eat there, when you leave, that's just how you feel. I mean, you've had a really, really good experience. I wanted to show that to bring up the fact the other night people had an opportunity with the winery, the Beans Creek Winery, to pair wines the other night and sample wines with the different types of meals that were coming out, and you just don't get that many places. Corporate stores don't do that kind of stuff, folks.
Well, that's one thing with us being private that we're able to do is we're able to do things for the community that, you know, it may affect our bottom line, but we're educating the community to know what wine goes with what food. You know, we're not just here to, you know, take your money. We're here to
a lot of people don't know,
everybody.
and we've got a local winery that has wonderful, delicious wines, and why not work together to, you know, people don't always, if you just go to the wine store, you might not know how to buy a wine to go with your meal, but this way you get a chance to try it and try something else local, and, you know, we think that's what it's all about. It's people getting together to learn and share some time, share some good food, and have a good experience. You don't always, when you're at home, you don't always get that family dinner anymore, so it's nice to have a place where you can come together and you have an atmosphere that you can be comfortable and enjoy good food and enjoy folks, and that's what we're all about. One
thing that I thought was really cool is the back room back there. And there was a party back there the other night, and it was all folks from Tullahoma that were there.
Good.
Because there's not much of a place in Tullahoma anymore that has a party room to where you can do that. Most of the corporate stores are just about herding, like you say, herding them through and pushing them in and pushing them back out.
Oh, we encourage families to come. We have one family over in Smith County that their whole family meets at our restaurant.
Yeah, once a
They
month.
have people from Knoxville, people from over in West Nashville. They all get together, and once a month they meet at the restaurant. They use our banquet room over there to get together and enjoy their family. It's, you know, it brings them together.
The middle point,
Yeah, it's a middle point for them to all come to.
Right. The other night when we were over there doing the commercial, of course, they were gracious in cooking some stuff, and Philip and I got to eat, and you know, we were like I look like I'm starving, but two urchins, we were there, and I mean we were chowing down. The ribs, I know you smoke a lot, and it shows on the commercial you bringing out that was a prime rib.
Yep,
a prime rib, but the ribs were just incredible. the meat just like it just fell off the bone. I mean, it was the texture was just perfect.
Well, there's a lot to go into it. You know, we use quality product, and I know that's a term that people hear all the time is, oh, we use quality, but we generally or genuinely do use good quality stuff, and then we smoke it, you know, on the smoker 100%. They're not parboiled, they're not baked, they're cooked 100% in the smoker, and if it takes 7 hours, it takes 7 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
it takes 16 hours.
Yeah, it takes whatever it takes. You know, the pork butts for 16 hours.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it takes to get it done right.
Yeah. Well, I want you people to also understand the side items. I know we didn't have a time to show a lot of side items, but the potato salad, the pasta salad is different. It's not those little multicolored screw curl pieces of pasta. It's nice, lush pieces of pasta with the small sun-dried tomatoes in there, and the good stuff, folks. It's the good stuff that you don't get at a corporate store.
Well,
and you just don't. And I mean, I love sweet potatoes now. Sweet potato fries.
That's so popular.
Once again, it goes back to the quality. You know, our daughter went to Le Cordon Bleu in Atlanta, so she knows what she's doing, and she, you know, brings fresh ingredients to the restaurant and to all of our side dishes, into our desserts.
Yeah,
you know,
she does an amazing job.
Let me tell you what. They brought these desserts out, and Philip was left with this dish, and he looked at it, and he looked at me, and after we left, he said, you know, I thought that was a chocolate pudding. He said, but that wasn't Bill Cosby's pudding right there. He said that was crusted on, and I guess it was a chocolate creme brulee.
Chocolate creme brulee, yes.
And you know, chocolate creme brulee, folks. Where do you go in this area and get that? Nowhere, except the Timberloft right now, you know, in our area.
It's not just about, you know, just what we do. It's about our whole staff. We've been blessed. We have a great bunch of people. One thing over at the other restaurant in Gordonsville, we're like a family over there. And we're starting to develop that here.
Yeah.
We have all local. We have all local staff. You know, we haven't brought anybody in from somewhere else. The staff here is just really genuinely, you know, great people to work with.
It's all local young people. A lot of them working their way through college, and you know, they're enjoying the work atmosphere and the friendship that they get.
That's what we try to bring to the restaurant too, for the staff. And when it shows up in the staff,
and it's a family-oriented place. There's a bar area, but it's not a loud, crazy place.
No.
It's a very quiet, very nice place, and it has a patio out back. And you were talking about possibly developing that into a better outside place. And we're just about out of time here. And all we wanted to do today is, folks, introduce you to these new business people in Coffee County.
Thank you,
Donna and Kevin. And they are at the Timberloft, and you need to find your way there, because if you don't, you have made a mistake. We'll see you at the Timberloft. Thanks, folks.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to the Rose Bowl. The team's taking the field. Not many people. Oh, my. He missed. Off to a rough start here. Somebody wants to go home. What's he doing?
If you're not watching college football in HD, you're watching Pee Wee TV. Graduate to Charter TV in HD and let it all in.
This is it.
This is it. Montar Roulette. Montar Roulette.
Oh.
Let the good times roll, baby. It's Fat Tuesday.
And let's go have some fun.
Let's go have some fun. I've given up Brussels sprouts and tofu for Lent.
Oh,
yeah.
What a sacrifice.
I believe I can make it.
What a sacrifice. Bye-bye, folks. We'll see you.